Well, guys, my baby's heading out of here. What is up? It's our kitty cat Scout. Wait, right there. And I didn't name this cat. My daughter actually did. Because you'd think I'd named it after a car, but I didn't. But what's up, Scout? What's up, kitty cat? What are we working on today, Scout? Huh? What are we working on? Well, obviously today we're going to be working on this bad boy here. Runs good, drives good. Only thing is it doesn't stop for the crap. Now, I've done the brake hoses on it. I haven't done anything else. Well, I changed the brake calipers and everything. I think I may have changed the rear hose, and I'm pretty sure I did, but I can't remember. But the next thing I'm going to be doing is I've got the master cylinder over here. I've already bench bled it. We need to put that on, and the rear wheel cylinders, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to change those and like adjust the brakes and everything. That should have everything set up. But right now, you get in this thing. So yeah, right now you get in here. I mean, that's what they do. And I mean, you got to jam just to get this thing to stop enough to go in the garage. Now, I have driven it, but I haven't driven it hardly very far. So yeah, that's a problem. But shoot, man, this thing runs like a top. And I think that's all we've got to really do left before we can really start putting it in service and driving it. But yeah, looking good though. So let's get this hood up, get this old master off here, and let's get after it. Alright guys, so I think I've already found the problem here. We'll pull this master off real quick. But if you can see, there's fluid draining all down the back of that booster. Well, all these that's a piston and a bore, just like what's in the engine. And I think probably there's some rust in it or something inside this bore. And what it did is that pressure that's supposed to be pushing the brakes is bleeding fluid out. It's pushing past the piston and it's leaking. So every time I push the brakes, it's pushing fluid on the inside of this and it's draining down and not pressing it through the hydraulic system. So here is our new one. And we're gonna go ahead and slip this on. Slip a few of these bolts here on it. And we're gonna remove the lines from the old one and then put them on this new one. And when you bench bleed one, you get all the air out of the master. And when you hook this up, you shouldn't have really any air at all. It should go ahead and push through like it's gonna do. So yeah, I don't know why, but I keep thinking about Waffle House, man. I'm like, that breakfast is so good. Like and I've already ate breakfast, but I don't know why I keep thinking about Waffle House. So yeah, Jared, Matt, where y'all at, dude? Leaving me hanging over here. We need to go eat. So yeah, but yeah, let's get this on here. You know, I get sidetracked. So here's the old master, and upon further inspection, this thing was just streaming fluid out of the back of that piston. So what it was doing, like when that pin would push in on that to make the piston moving the bore to build pressure to push out these lines, it was just pushing back through itself. Now, I already poured the fluid out, but the front one was still full, but the rear one was empty. So it's worked the fluid out, and actually it's barely trying to push on the front brakes and not doing anything on the rear. So we're gonna put the lid on it, put the cap, and we're gonna see if these brakes work on this thing. So on this car, when I was doing the messing with the slave cylinder and stuff, doing the 5-speed swap and had the master off, I got some brake fluid on my hands, and you can see the damage it will do to your paint. I thought there used to be some spots down here, but yeah, you can see it'll just eat the paint right off of it. So even though these are crappy paint jobs, you still don't want to eat and damage what's under there. So I'm gonna get in here and see if this brake works, and if not, I might have to do some minor bleeding on it. I might see if my wonderful wife will come out here and pump the brakes, and I might just re-bleed it just for, you know, something, just for safe mind or whatever. It's Scout coming from a Scout. How ironic. But yeah, that's a little residual for me bleeding it, but we got a leak in the wheel cylinder back here, and that would explain why that rear reservoir has went down. And I think that one's leaking too, which is normal stuff that you would change on these. Like, if you're gonna get one to fix up, keep, and start driving, you might as well buy the master cylinder, all 3 brake hoses, get the 2 wheel cylinders, not necessarily needing calipers because they usually work, you know, 9 times out of 10. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and pull these wheels off and pull the drums and inspect the brake shoes, and hopefully all we gotta change is a wheel cylinder. So let's get these wheels off. So yeah, there's definitely a issue here with the wheel cylinder. You can see it's pretty wet, and then look at the drum or the shoes. They're soaked pretty well, and as is the drum, it's just wet. And at first you'd think this is an axle seal, but looking inside there, I know you can't see it, but I can. The axle seal's dry. It's just the residual off that leaky wheel cylinder, which we have those parts. So I'm gonna clean the drum, brake clean this whole shoe first and get it cleaned up, and then I'm gonna try to change the wheel cylinder, but I will more than likely have to take these drums apart. So not too bad. So after a few hours worth of work, Connor and I got after these wheel cylinders and got them changed out. We reinstalled the wheels and took it for a test drive, did a little brake bleeding, and now we're gonna move it out and take care of something else. My pride and joy here, the motorhome, is slowly trying to kill itself and me. I don't know if you can see, but the master cylinder is actually streaming fluid out when you hit the brakes. You can see the drop right there. It's just streaming it out. So kind of like the Blazer, except this one's 10 times worse. It's leaking past that piston, and it's just draining the reservoirs down, and it's leaking all over the body there. So I might have to go find a master cylinder. But the crazy thing is, ooh, it's dripping right now. I have never seen one of these, because this has got the first style of the Hydro Boost, so that's that may be kind of hard to find. Then we're gonna get this thing and back it. Oh crap, got a flat tire, son of a. This thing just reminds me of like a kid trying to get them ready for school and they don't want to go, and they're just dragging their feet and throwing a fit. This thing just wants to die. I don't know. Ah.
Look, Mommy, I drew it. Good job.
So we've been working on the brakes on the K5 Blazer. Well, this thing, the same thing, this booster here, not booster, this master cylinder is leaking from the back of it. So every time I push on it, the pressure's bypassing, going by and leaking out of the back. So I went ahead and I got a new one, and I'm removing this old one now. And this one, if you see, it's got the Hydro Boost set up on it. I would imagine one of the first styles of it to come out.
You're getting good at this. Now we got some more. Hey, wait a minute. We got some more here now.
All right, so on the K5, the brake brakes work good. It's running and driving good. Monte Carlo, I haven't really done a whole lot. I still got a few things I need to get, but where I'm at with it is I'm really thinking about possibly letting the 76 K5 or this Monte Carlo go, because now that I've got that Camaro, I like it a lot better than I like this Monte Carlo actually. But I've never had one of these. Like this car is pretty rare. The Monte S, like I said, like I almost forgot they existed. I've only been around maybe 2 or 3 of these my whole life. So like, yes, it needs some work. My plan was more than likely to do the LS route, but I really want to get that Camaro going. I like it a lot better. And then the K5, it's almost ready. You know, that one I didn't necessarily, I bought it as something to get by till I got the other Blazer going, but it has been pretty tough. I'm like on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm about a 5.5 to 6 on that one, even though I've done a lot of work. And that's where you get into, you know, it just needs a motor and it needs everything else. Like every bolt I've turned on is, you know, and then the wiring issues I've had with it and stuff. The truck really needs to be rewired, but it works. Everything, I mean, it's a good running, driving truck. So is the Monte Carlo. So, you know, I've done some thinking, I've done some talking with, you know, trying to figure out what I want to do, and I think I made my decision. So, yeah, let's find out which car I'm going to keep. So, like I said, it's hard to do because I really want to get out and do some camping, doing some adventuring. But I've got 3 4x4 vehicles, you know, and my Red Ford's getting ready to be done. But I also have a couple cars, and I really don't need this car, but at the same time, I really like it. I think I like it about the same, about a 6 on a scale of 10. That Camaro, I'm like a 9 on that, man. Because I love those cars, you know. I just never thought I'd get another one, you know, for the right price and that kind of shape, you know. But I never thought I would ever own a Monte Carlo, you know. Like I said, these things are rarer than hen's teeth, you know. And especially one that's not beat up, not rusted out, not trashed. So this is a hard choice for me to make, but I believe I've made my decision, and let's find out which one it is. What's up?
Not much.
Sure you want to do this?
I believe so.
So, under careful consideration, I was thinking either the Monte Carlo or the Blazer's got to go, because this Camaro and my Scout's got me pretty jazzed. And I got to be realistic. I got to focus on the stuff that I really want to build. So, me and Matt's had a conversation, and you know, he's very supportive of helping me with any harebrained idea that I've got. And well, you just see which one I decided to get rid of. So this thing now belongs to Matt.
Woo!
So, only stipulation though, if you get rid of it, you got to sell it back to me.
All right.
So that'll be the second handshake. Hold him to it, because if he, like I said, I want it back if you ever decide to get rid of it. But yeah, this is yeah.
I even wore a.
I know you got.
I ordered a new T-shirt.
Yeah, Brooks and Dunn. Out in the country, past the city limit sign. Yeah, the front end's wrong, but it's close enough.
I thought it was cool.
Close as you're gonna get. So yeah.
I'm excited, man.
It still needs some work done to it, and I'm going to help him. Like, I've got to hook up the brake booster, and the brake's still a little iffy. I mean, you guys, this thing ain't going anywhere. You guys are going to see it, but it's still basically part of the Corey's Garage fleet. It's his now. And like I said, I've spent way too much money on it. I would say I've got more invested in this than, probably not some of the other stuff, but yeah.
Definitely not the Chevelle.
No, I got too much in that. No, I don't, because I can get my money back on that, but
Shuts like square body, doesn't it?
yeah, and it comes with that nice weather stripping too. That's your problem now. I think it'll just glue back on, but
Man,
yep,
I love it.
yeah, you're set up, man. But yeah, so I've got a Camaro to do and a Scout to build, and I'm pretty happy. Takes a little bit of load off my shoulders. Well, let's head to the house, dude.
Okay.